I'd like to call this Edinburgh Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors regular meeting to order. Today is January 23rd, 2018. Time is 6 p.m. Roll call, we have Mr. Carranza,
Present.
Dr. Salceda, Mr. Farias, myself, Gilbert Enriquez. We do have a quorum. Certification of the posting of meeting, Ms. Ramirez?
Yes, sir. It was posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act.
Thank you. Item number 3, do I have a motion to consider approval of Board of Directors minutes for December 18, 2017 and December 27, 2017 board meetings?
Yes, I'll make the motion.
We have a motion.
I'll second that.
We have a second by Dr. Salceda. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. We're going to deviate from the agenda. We have to go to executive session to discuss one item. We have our city attorney that's in the audience, and he's charging us by the hour, so we want to get him and out as quickly as possible. So if I have a motion to enter executive session.
I'll motion to go into executive session.
I have a motion by Mr. Carranza,
Second.
second by Mr. Farias. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yeah, so in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Vernon Civil Statutes Annotated Government Code, exception to requirements that meetings be in open session, Section 551.087, the board will now go into executive session to deliberate item F and then return to open session, conduct the rest of the meeting, and then go back into executive session with the other items.
Okay, time is 6:02. Thank you. We'll be right back. Okay, do I have a motion to enter regular session?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Posadas,
I'll second that.
second by Mr. Carranza. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. For the record, Mr. Posadas joined us in executive session. There was no action taken in executive session. Mr. Vela?
We do need a motion on item 14F to direct Mr. Rick Gonzalez to proceed as instructed in executive session.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Posadas,
Second.
second by Dr. Salceda. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Okay, we're going to... How long are you going to be here?
Yeah, please.
What we're going to do, Mr. Farias has another meeting that he needs to attend to, so we're going to move item number 10, discuss and consider possible action regarding the lease agreement with Nuco Tool, Inc., to item number 4, and then we'll move everyone one space down after that. If it's okay with the rest of the board?
I'm okay with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so item number 10, discuss and consider possible action regarding the lease agreement with Nuco Tool, Inc. Ms. Ramirez?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. We have Ms. Sylvia Garcia, representative with Nuco Tool, here to present to the board their issues, their requests, and their situation regarding the lease agreement.
Ms. Garcia, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Enriquez, and thank you for the Economic Development Board to give me some time to present our situation. Nuco Tool is a manufacturing company in Edinburgh. We've been here since 1998. We've been in business since 96, and we manufacture precision components. We came from Indiana. We were originally from the Valley, but I grew up in Indiana during the time of the automotive boom, and I came back down here to my roots and went to college here at Pan American University at the time. And we, when the NAFTA happened, we started to move our business down here in the Valley. Our company was fortunate enough to do a lot of automotive work. We actually did work for Borg Warner. We did the tooling for the first Viper car, the first Viper Dodge car. It was at the time in '91, the Indy 500. They were supposed to have the stealth vehicle as a pace car. And because it was made in Japan, it was a foreign car, that didn't go well. And they brought out the Viper, and we were part of that. Also, we designed the step vans. If you see the FedEx and UPS, the shells that go on top of the chassis, we designed the assembly line to do those step vans. We, here in Edinburgh, we also did the counter shafts and machining, grinding lathe work for the Hummer 2, Hummer 3, Desert Storm. We were involved with all of the automotive. But then when all the automotive work went to Mexico and China, we had to diversify. So we diversified our company. We now do work for satellite companies. We do work for the mining company. We actually do work for also space exploration. We do work for aircraft. We do a lot of work, different types of components, machining components. And because of the jobs going to China and Mexico, our business did suffer. So now that the jobs in manufacturing are coming back to the U.S., that's what we're going to pursue, automotive. And back in June of last year, we approached the EDC in a private meeting that we wanted to do the apprenticeship program, the high school apprenticeship program. And I met with the career technology director, Ms. Lozano, and she was very much interested, and so was the superintendent. But it never got off the ground. We don't understand why, but apprenticeship programs at the high school level is something that we have seen worked. We've done it personally. Some of the people that we've trained have actually been, are now teaching as professors at STC. Some of them have become entrepreneurs themselves. And coming from Indiana, we know that this does work, and we wanted to implement it here in Edinburgh. I'm still going to go to the national conference in South Carolina, and basically the president has put in over $200 million into the apprenticeship program. And I know the board is very interested in grants and that, tapping into those monies. And we would like to be part of that and partner up with the schools and partner up with corporations just to do work through the apprenticeship program. But anyways, the reason I'm here is that we've been wanting to purchase the building and the land. It was offered to us a few years back. The land is about 8 acres. It's a full lot. And it's not just the building or part of the building. The whole lot was offered to us. It's platted that way. There's no way you can, if you're going to break it up, you have to go to the appraisal office and break it up, plat it out. It's not, the offer was on the table for all the 8 acres. And we still want to purchase that building. We still want to purchase the land. The reason that the lease agreements never got done, I don't know. It's been 5 years. We're on a month-to-month lease. And the lease price is in that, the current lease that we're on a month-to-month. The lease price is there. Now, we would like to negotiate a sales price. And the economic stimulus that I was going to pass out to you all, but I'll just mention the numbers. The lease payments so far, we've been in that building since 2004. The lease payments that we've paid so far is $1,016,442.96.
Repeat that, please.
$1,016,442.96. Employee payrolls since 1999. I didn't get the 98 because that's when we moved over, but since 99, we have paid in payrolls. And these are people that live in Edinburgh, whose kids live in Edinburgh. My kids went to school here in Edinburgh, graduated from Edinburgh schools, went to UTRGV, but all the payrolls, stimulus to Edinburgh, the city of Edinburgh, $9,214,032.76. 9214032.76. Property and real estate taxes, over $389,389,693.94. Total, $10,620,169.66. That's just these three items, not counting everything else that we purchase from local vendors. So our company has put in $10 million into the city of Edinburgh, and we now want to invest in our youth in the high school apprenticeship program. And we can't seem to get the time of day from previous, EDC boards. I don't understand. I don't understand why the city of Edinburgh has done great things with the retail, with the New Bird Ogden Arena, with the university, with the medical, but we don't make things anymore in this country. But the jobs are coming back. We used to make a lot of things. And everything made in the USA. We were approached several times to move to Mexico, but we refused. We refused that. We want to keep the jobs in the USA. And now that the jobs are coming back, there's a lot of opportunities for our kids that can't afford college, don't want to go to college. They just want to work. And here we are with this apprenticeship program that's going to be available to our kids for them to have a skill, not to work at, that's fine working as a hostess at a restaurant, that's great. But this is a skill that they'll have, it's a life skill, and that they can continue to pursue it if they want to in engineering or what have you, or management, but this is a skilled labor. It's nothing like that, something simple or easy. Working at a logistics, this is a skilled manufacturing, and that's what we have to offer.
Okay. Ms. Garcia, quick questions.
Okay.
You said that you wanted to purchase the building and the property.
Yes.
How soon did you want to purchase the building and the property? Are
Well,
you looking like current, or 2 years from now, 3 years from now?
Current. We're looking at it current.
Okay.
And we need to know what the price will be before we can pursue a bank loan. Of course, there's SBA loans. There's a lot of loans out there. There's new loans. We actually been approached by UTSA, University of Texas at San Antonio. They're the ones helping us. We currently have applied for a grant, and they awarded us a grant, and it's for consulting and to help us build up the apprenticeship program. And then another department of UTSA approached us because they want us to start selling to South America.
Right.
Goods made in the USA going to South America instead of the other way.
So you have potential contracts that are coming up.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what we're here today is not only to listen to your presentation, but also to see how we can come to an agreement and help you along. And just so I can let the rest of the board know, I met, myself and Nelda Ramirez met with Ms. Garcia and her father at her place. She asked to meet with me, and we met, and I toured the facility a little bit.
And I appreciate that very much.
Of course.
Thank you.
And one of the things that I told her, and I want to reiterate to everyone here, is that we're here as decision makers and as elected officials to help our community, help our businesses. We're here for economic development.
Thank you.
And one of the things that we don't want to do is we don't want to close anybody's doors down. We want to make sure that they continue to thrive, because if they thrive, we thrive as a city, and our citizens thrive. So I want to make that clear. Now, with saying all that, there are parameters that we have to follow. There's things that we can't just push to the side. We got to be fair across the board. To all our lease agreements that we have, to all our tenants, everyone that wants to come in and purchase property, we have to be fair. And one of the things that I pride myself on is being fair and looking at a case-by-case basis, because not every case is the same. There's a lot of different things that can happen in a situation. So I know that you were asking for not only to purchase the building, but you were asking to maybe negotiate a payment plan or some kind of for the money that is owed, for the delinquent payments that are owed.
And also if that could be added to the sales price as an alternative.
Right.
Added to the sales price. But we were never offered an incentive at the beginning. We were the first ones at the industrial park. There was nothing there, just jackrabbits.
And
actually.
that
there was
is-
nothing there. We were the first ones.
Right.
So
And that is very important that you mentioned that there was no incentive that she received. They purchased or they leased the property, other than, as Ms. Ramirez said, that we built it to their needs.
the design.
But again, my argument.
But you saw the building. There's no
Well-
specific special.
Right, but again, my argument is build to suit, it just means you're leasing it to your needs, but you're still having to pay. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, as you all know, when you build something to your satisfaction or to your specifications, that's what you need in order to operate the business. So I don't really see that as an incentive.
Well, it
It's
depends
like-
what the cost was, because typically you'll get a budget that you got to be on.
Right,
Anything
but this-
thereafter, you got to bring it out
No,
of pocket.
I'm assuming that those figures were, and you want to elaborate on that question?
What was that again?
When they build, he made a good point, but my question is, when they give you a budget for a build-out, they'll just give you a budget and stick to that. Anything thereafter is going to be out of your pocket, okay? So in the lease that they were paying, was that included already? That, like, what was the budget that they gave them initially?
We
Or
had-
there was no budget whatsoever?
Originally, we had a cost proposal on how much it would cost to build it, and so that was what we went with. It was not, anything above that was out of pocket.
Right, but you built it for what you were charging her the rent for.
Right,
You based that cost, or you based your rent based off that cost.
Right.
You didn't say, okay, it was going to cost us $300,000, but as an incentive, we're going to base your rent off of $200,000. We based it off the actual construction cost.
Yes.
Right. The lease rate was based on the square footage of the construction of that building.
Okay.
But
And there were, I'm sorry.
I don't know. You see, it's kind of gray area right there.
I would like to add to the gray area and be specific, $618,799 was what the EDC actually put into the build-out to that particular building. That's something that a number we can look at. If you get that $618,799 and you add it to the taxes that the EDC has been paying up to now, the taxes have, since 2004, accumulated to $652,184.26. In addition to that, the EDC also had to pay insurance, and the total of that insurance is $46,866.96, which, if you add all that together, it comes out to $1,317,850. And as you just stated, your lease has accumulated to the total of $1,016,000, still $300,000 less than what the taxpayers have paid out. So when I hear there's no incentive, I beg to differ, because with all that, we don't get any sales tax revenue out of that. And yet at the same time, out of pocket is 1.3, and that's a major difference of what we've received from the lease payments. And also the lease payment right now is not at the fair market value. So when you look at this, I just look at the numbers, and so we still haven't been able to recoup our initial investment.
But you will with the sales price. And let me just make a notation on the building itself, the construction. There were no change orders. They were it's a family business, so my dad was out there every day making sure there weren't any corners cut, that they were doing their job, that they were following along with what was the specs, and there were no overages because he was on top of them, making sure, like if it was, that they were not going over or doing any, shabby work.
Ms. Garcia, sorry to interject.
No problem.
What was the reason that we've only been paying $500 a month in these past few months?
It was just something that Nelda and I had discussed just to add something, it was just something, just a good faith payment, and just ended up every month making that payment just as a good faith. But it was we never came up with a promissory note, which we're willing to do as well. We're willing to do a promissory note and use our machinery as collateral.
But who came up with this 500 number?
It was just a number that we said we'll pay $500 a month just until we can negotiate, come up with an
So
agreement.
you proposed 500 to Nelda,
Yes.
and then Nelda agreed, or how did that work? Can you tell us how that transpired, please, Nelda?
No, actually, it was something that was requested of the previous board. It was something that they considered, and they allowed them to go ahead. It was a request to an effort to allow them to catch up to pay the prior rent payments that were past due. And so what the previous board agreed to was for them to continue to pay their current rent payment with an additional $500 per month to try and catch up to pay back some of that back rent that was due. And it was a verbal agreement because they wanted to give the company some time to be able to do so for a few months and then come back and reevaluate.
Was it on the agenda minutes? Was it a,
It was an executive session item.
okay. But we have,
It was listed in executive
okay,
session.
good. So then you are paying your monthly rent right now, your lease, plus an additional 500? That's where I'm a little lost.
Yeah, we have not paid our rent. We have been paying the monthly payments. But the whole reason is that we did not intend for us to be paying lease payments for all this time. That the EDC had to pay the taxes all those years and insurance was because these lease agreements, 5 years without a lease agreement, first of all. And then when they were renewed, that's how they renewed them. But for 5 years, we had been trying to negotiate a sales price. We'd get new boards. I think it was probably like 2 boards within the 5 years or 3. So it just kept kicking the can down the road, kind of. Just kicking the can down the road and not getting to the lease agreement. So it's been prolonged for so long, and for whatever reasons, it happened that way. It was unfortunate.
So do you think it's fair that you paid $500 knowingly that, you're paying way less than fair market value? Did it ever occur to you like, hey, I think at one point this is going to catch up to me. Let me try to, in good faith, pay a little more or make a conscious effort to get this on the agenda?
At the time that we made the $500, we had issued several checks to the EDC for almost $38,000. So we made lump sum payments of $25,000, and then we made 2 $6,000 payments, and then we added the $500. And then it just kind of took off from there with the $500, just paying something. And so we had paid quite a bit in lump sum.
But since paying $500, is it because of some economical hardship, or is it because you just decided on the $500 like you mentioned earlier?
Well, it's a little bit of both. Like I said, we are going through the economic, situation with our business, but it is picking up. Like I said, we are right now on a proposal that we're working on. We just signed a non-disclosure agreement, so I can't tell you much about it.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of February, we should know if it's awarded to us.
Well, good,
or
and
not.
I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you.
Like Mr. President and Mr. Farias also said, we want you to flourish because it'll benefit the community and the economy. However, we also got to be cognizant of our taxpayers, right? And we
Yes.
got to play equal across the board. And I hope you don't think that we're just trying to find some way, we're just trying to clear it up to make sure that we're in good. And also, the lump sum that you paid, was it prior to your past due rent, or was it after your past due rent?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
25,000 was for the arrears, and then 12,000 was moving forward for 2 months. So, we are not going anywhere as far as we're paying our bills. We want to pay our bills. We're not going to up and run. We're from here. We plan on the contract that we're going to be hopefully awarded in February. We wanted to, instead of giving scholarships to our kids, because the scholarships don't go very far. The school with books, it's one semester. But if we're offering a skilled, a profession to our young kids, high school kids, that's something that's a lifetime of a scholarship.
And will you
And
be
we're wanting to invest in that.
And you'll be compensated for that?
Not necessarily. If there are grant monies available for the students for the payrolls, of course we'll obtain those. But we're going to hire between maybe 6 to 8 people if we get this contract.
So you're telling
And
me that you're
we're-
going to do it pro bono?
For the kids, we would.
Okay. Hear that, Mike?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
Yeah, because
So,
my dad wanted to do that for STC.
Good.
And he was on their board. But it was so much rhetoric because he moves. He's a doer. And so if the school district can get grant money to, let's say, teach the kids on safety and whatever processes they have to do to get them prepared for a manufacturing environment, and then we train the kids, we would do it pro bono.
So,
But paying the kids, that money may come from the TWC,
so
from Texas Workforce Commission.
you will be compensated?
No. The monies will go to the kids.
Okay, gotcha.
You know
Now,
what I'm saying? We're not gonna
hypothetically
get
speaking, that
compensated.
we do come up with a solution and we do want to sell and we reach an agreement, are you able to get financing to get that done, knowing that you're going through your hardships? And I don't know how your P&L, your income statement looks. I'm not privy to that. Do you think you'll be able to get that financing?
Yes, we already are working on this with the SBA through a bank. What the EDC board had back then, like in 2015, they were willing to finance it at, I believe, 5%. And they were willing to finance it until, we never got to that point. But if you're willing to finance it just temporarily until we get the SBA loan from the bank, and then the bank will pay off the EDC.
okay, Ms. Garcia, did you provide your, I guess, your wishes, what you would propose that we would review? Like, if you wanted to purchase the building, if you wanted to, I know we had discussed about maybe doing something with the late payments, the $81,000 that's owed, maybe paying half, a quarter, whatever you could afford. But did you give us or prepare a list of the things that you're willing to accept or that you're willing to offer as an offer?
As an offer for the promissory note?
Well, as an offer to the $81,000 that was owed, that's still owed. Because I know it's going to take time before a price for the building is negotiated and completed. So what we're looking at is that $81,000 for the delinquent payments. Is there are you willing to offer half, a quarter of it to get us into a position to where we can negotiate?
I can work on that.
Okay.
maybe we could do a promissory note with some kind of a down payment and then, finance it over interest in so many months. But
Okay.
we could,
Yeah, I think if you were to come up with an offer and send it to us
Okay.
in writing, and then we can review it and discuss it at a next meeting,
okay,
so we can make a decision.
Okay.
I think you being here and presenting and giving your figures and Mr. Farias' figures, we have a better understanding of how much you've contributed to the city and how much the city has contributed to Nuco Tools. So I think at that point, once you submit your offer for that delinquent payments, I think that would help the board make a better decision at our next meeting.
okay, all right. Well, thank you for that opportunity. Thank you for your time and attention. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. God
Thank
bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia.
Mr. President, just for clarification, on the previous, I guess, 2 meetings ago, or whenever we discussed this, we had given instructions to, I think, to the end of January or end of February, do you recall?
I believe it was terminated, wasn't it?
It was to proceed.
Yeah, it was
It
to
was to what?
proceed. It was to proceed. Proceed with the I guess, the legal ramifications.
Eviction.
Eviction.
Okay,
So
so at
right
this
now-
point, we're gonna...
right now it's
we're
in
gonna
that
put that on
process.
hold, because I think we had said it'd be by the end, to the end of January or something.
You're right, but the
So we'll... we'll
process,
hold on
I
that.
think the hearing date is set for
February 15.
February 15th. So if we make a deal or make any other decisions, it has to be prior to February 15th, so then the proceedings can stop. But we're still proceeding until February 15th, so we're hoping that we can reach an agreement from now until then.
Okay.
And if we need
Just
to
so we're
have,
clear on the timing, because, we
Right.
don't want her feeling like there's too little or too much.
right, and if we need to have a special meeting, we'll have a special meeting.
Very unexpected, because I think there needs to be more communication as to what transpires when we're on the agenda, having some kind of a communication, a letter indicating this transpired or some kind of direction, because that sometimes kind of if I hadn't looked at the agenda, I wouldn't have known I'm on the agenda or what have you. And I'm not saying for today, but I'm just saying that communication, I hope, is something that goes both ways.
Right.
I think that's a fair
Understandable.
offer. I think that's a
Yeah,
good
that's
comment.
understandable.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you so much again
Right.
for your time, and I appreciate that, yes, we can move forward and avoid that February 15th
Yes.
situation.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
On that, excuse me, Mr. President, on that note, Nelda, every time we have somebody on the agenda, I think it'd be good operating procedure, so we can just give them a courtesy email or something like that, just in case they want to.
We've been doing that for the last couple of meetings.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay, item 4, moving back up to item 4, presentation by Chris Tagle with Tagle Star Website Studios regarding the EEDC website. Ms. Ramirez.
Yes, we have Mr. Chris Dagle here. We've been contracting with him for past 4 or 5 years.
2013.
Since 2013. He was going to present to the board the work that he's done for us. He had originally done a redesign of our website back in 2013, and then he was contracted again, I think, in 2015 to redesign the website again. And so, Mr. Dagle, if you want to go ahead and speak on that.
Christopher Tagle. Nice to meet everybody on the board. Unfortunately, I do not have a presentation. I did not know I was supposed to make some type of presentation as far as the website.
Okay.
So I was just told, well, y'all are gonna.
Well, you can probably bring up the website,
Yeah, sure.
right?
I can.
Yeah, let's bring up the website. That's all we need to do is look at the website. There's some things that I would like to see more user-friendly and,
Well, the site is dated. I mean, I think we built the site back in early 2015.
yeah, but you can't find any information on it. That's one of the things that baffles me is that it takes a a rocket scientist to figure out how to get to the agenda and stuff. So I kind of want to make it as basic as possible so everyone can have access to what we're doing.
How often is this website updated?
As far as the design or its updates?
Just updates.
Monthly. So
Do you do that, or do we do that
both.
internally?
It's both, yes.
It's both, okay.
Mhm.
Are you on a monthly contract to do that, or?
It's a 2-year contract, yes.
When did it start and when does it end?
Back in 2013, and I don't have any of the paperwork here in front of me, so I can't tell you when it ends. I think it just renewed sometime last year.
Nelda,
It
do
was,
you
a-
have?
I think it was a 2-year, and it renews. It was from 15 to 17.
Yeah.
Just as long as
Month to month?
it's necessary. Yeah, I don't think we have a current contract.
Yeah.
How much do we pay on that monthly?
About 225.
Mm-hmm,
Very
225.
affordable.
Yeah.
225 for the month.
Yeah,
And-
basically,
and how many times a month do you update it?
Well, it's, first of all, on the website, it's updated nightly as far as security and the backups. This particular website is built on WordPress. So if y'all are familiar with WordPress, it requires a lot of maintenance. So as far as monthly, it's daily backups of the site and security patches, and then the occasional agendas. So those are done monthly, and then Jennifer provides some of the updates as far as the post, which if you come down here.
Is this similar to what the city of Edinburgh uses for their website?
No, the city of Edinburgh uses an older custom script. It is not WordPress. It is completely something different.
Is it less maintenance what the city does compared to this?
No, it's a lot more maintenance. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a bigger website.
But I think we have in-house people that do that, right?
Yes, yeah.
We have in-house people that handle our website.
With the city?
Yeah.
Need to. Click agendas, Mr. Tagle.
And I go back.
Can you click on one?
Sure.
Is all the information in there? Or is that just the
Just
agenda?
the agenda.
We don't put any other information on?
This is mainly for posting. We can put the packet on there and have the 2 files like the city does, but we've mainly done this only for posting purposes.
I think we need to start
Yeah.
putting,
Packet.
the packet.
Yeah, we could have the 2 files so that if you just want to pull up the agenda or do the whole packet as a PDF.
Can you go back, please?
So you want to put both of the files on there? Okay, that's doable.
So when you click read more, what does read more do?
Well, it's going to take you to the
Oh.
agenda. Yeah, same thing.
Are the videos on there?
Yes, they are.
Not
Go
the
back to
board
the
meeting
homepage.
videos. Not the board meeting videos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean the board? No, they're not.
Got that?
I think
Yes,
that comes
we-
out on the city's website,
The
doesn't it?
ECN Live.
It does.
ECN.
Yep.
Yeah, but the EDC
But on
has
the
its own.
website, on the city website, does our,
I think you can pull up the city ones. I'm not sure if you could pull up
oh, you
the
can't do
ones.
the,
Yeah.
well, if we can add our,
Or just a link,
Yeah.
link it to the city.
Yeah,
well,
If we
I-
have their
if we have-
recordings, we can link them.
yeah, but I don't like the city's, I don't like the city's, well, no, the way that you have to, what you have to download to see the video,
Oh, yeah.
horrible,
Oh, yeah.
horrible. I couldn't do it if my life depended on it.
but at least we try.
I
School
tried.
School doesn't try.
But it's just, it doesn't seem to want to work. Either I'm that slow or, but I've heard a lot of other slow people like me with the same, they can't download it. We just want easy accessibility. We want, if people want to come and see, and hey, I couldn't make the board meeting, but I want to go and check it out, I want them to see it. I can only speak for here, but as a citizen of Edinburgh, I want them to also have easy access to the city meetings.
Correct.
You know, I mean, what can we do so, some of these people can watch it at night or watch it in the morning or go through it and skim through it and make sure?
Well, there are ways the city can enhance the live videos. Now, fortunately, to view archive videos, that's why it takes a while, because you're having to download that whole video, and video files are humongous. But if you do live feeds, there are a whole bunch of third-party softwares out there that you can use that do live streaming
So
pretty
basically,
easy.
you're saying regardless, if it's a archived
If it's an
meeting,
archived
you're going to have
video-
the same situation regardless.
Yes, because there's going to be some load time on it.
Well, I figure if we can get to the moon in 1967, we can figure out something to speedy up the videos.
There's ways to do it,
Oh, good,
but
good.
I don't have control of the city website.
Okay.
I only do the Edinburgh EDC website, so that would be up to the city
Well,
and their IT.
He's talking about these meetings. He
Okay.
wants to upload
Yes.
them to the EDC website.
Okay.
So that's something that let's
We-
look into.
We can do.
Let's
Yes.
look into and see what we can do, and then if you can bring something to Nelda so she can let us know about it,
Sure, sounds good.
okay?
Right now, the videos that we have, they're just basically just YouTube videos. So you click on here, it's going to take you into one of the YouTube videos.
Okay.
Let's look at projects. Well, let's go down. Let's go EDC board and all the way down. I haven't, you know what? I haven't even seen it.
So these
Okay,
are the
we're pressed
posed.
for time.
Yeah.
We got a lot of things to do. So just FYI.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you,
But-
is this a recommendation, are you recommending that we continue with the same
No.
WordPress, or are we looking to update? Is there something better? This has been since
Well,
2013.
WordPress is the fastest backend for a website. However, this particular design was from the previous administration, so it's a little heavy on the imagery
Right.
and the graphics.
And that's one of the reasons why I brought him to do a presentation, just so if we have any ideas of how we want to present the information to the public, let's present that to him.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it's kind of like it's real busy.
Back when Nelda was the president, we had a more corporate look. This is, I'm not saying it's a bad look. I mean, we designed it, but it's not the EDC feel. So
Not a
again,
corporate feel.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah, and it's very heavy on the images, which is going to take time to load.
right, because the past administration wanted to portray something that we were.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
So I mean, you
Reality
scroll
versus
down.
perception.
I mean,
So-
it's
You know,
very
rea-
rich in graphics.
Right. So that's something that we want to go back to, the professionalism, the corporate side of it, just so when somebody's reviewing it, they see, you know, Edinburgh is the city to be in,
Hmm.
you know, so,
We can propose something, and I'll give it to Nelda.
okay. Is that good with the board? All right, appreciate it, Mr. Zaga.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.